Operation Ocean Gate, boys. Let's make sure they don't nerf the Aquillions. They're gonna. But I do have faith. I have faith that they. I mean, like at best, they should go up like 100 points. If they go up any more than that, then that is purely GW just bowing down to genuine like remedials on the internet. I'm not saying Aquillions are bad. Aquillions are very, 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 very good. But it's also entirely possible to play around what people are saying is their greatest strength. Yeah. The number one problem that people have... So I've used Aquillions in 6 games, okay? And in only one of those games was like Aquillions' best feature really prevalent. And that best feature is not deep striking down within 3 inches to do secondaries. That is a very good feature. That's obviously what the feature is intended for, but that's not their best feature. Their best feature is deep striking down within 3 inches so you can charge block people. So basically, the enemy finishes their move, and then you rapid ingress in the Aquillions, and then you can basically rapid ingress them so that it charge blocks someone. That is that is good. That's very, 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 very good. But remember this, right? Your Aquillions have to stay 3 inches away from someone. So if the person has moved as far forward as they can, and then the Aquillions come in and block the charge, the first thing to remember is their original target is still the same distance away. So if they were trying to go for the original target, they've still got the same fucking charge roll, essentially, right? That's important to remember. Because the second thing is, just fucking kill the Aquillions. Just fucking kill the Aquillions. Okay? Like, they are 10 1 wound T3 bodies. Okay? Like, I had some, literally, like, a couple of fucking, like, heavy flamers or something. Like, some paltry firepower will clear out most of them. Okay? We'll clear, like, literally, if you've got a unit of, like, 10 fucking corn berserkers with fucking bolt pistols, go, like, break yourself, full, bah, 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 you'll clear most of them out, so then you can do your fucking charge into to your original target. Okay? Like, I'm being... The only time people are getting absolutely butt fucked by this is if they're an army that for some reason has absolutely 0 shooting in it. So like Khorne demons struggle against like a little bit, but then it's like, well, just I know it's good. I know people are going to be like a little like, oh, Mordian, oh, but like, oh, you just tell people to like play this, do that. But why don't you just have a bit of fucking like redundancy built into your fucking list? Maybe don't be such a one fucking trick pony. Okay? Like, if you know that there's going to be screens that you have to deal with, then fucking 1 unit of flamers in your army. Just drop them in and then fucking flame them and then they die. Okay? Like, 1 unit of flamers will just clear out 10 Aquillions or combat in effect them essentially, and then you just charge right fucking past them. Like, they are very good. I cannot emphasize this enough. They are very, very, very good. They are very, very, very strong, but they are also completely and utterly and totally counterable by every single army has the tools to deal with them. Every single army. Because they come in once you've finished your movement. Okay? They come in once you've finished your movement. So if you have a charge, let's say you are an assault army, you have an assault unit, you move as far forward as you want to go. If you know that this is a very, very important charge, if you know you have to get this charge off because it's like fucking going to change the nature of the game, then guess what? Have something in your list. Like, it's these people are just like, my charge is blocked. Oh, how could I have possibly done anything to counter this? Oh, I don't know. Like, do what you're meant to do. Do what you're meant to fucking do. And be like, oh, well, you know, I'm not just going to assault things. I'm going to have to soften the enemy up before I send the assault in. I fucking swear to God. These people genuinely need... No, I'm going to sound very arrogant, right? I'm going to sound very arrogant right now. Okay, but I swear to fucking God, These fucking short bursts of the Scholopogenium people need to fucking spend 6 months playing guard so they can actually fucking learn how to use actual fucking combined arms tactics. If I run combat guard, do I ever run a combat army? If I run combat guard, do I ever run that combat army without having fire support? No, because the guard teaches you that if you try and bayonet people without softening them up first, you get your shit pushed in. You get fisted. Angron shoves his hand up at your ass and fucking works like a sock puppet. Okay? And you learn that in the guard, and then you go and take that to other factions. So what happens when I went over to Death Guard? Death Guard are a combat army, before anyone says they're not. They are a combat army. Okay? They really fuck people up in close combat. They can do a bit of everything. Death Guard are very good at a bit of everything, but they can do a combat. They can do the combat. Okay? Do you know what? I fucking learned from a Death Guard. Everyone else is out there running the Death Guard units. Oh, you take maximum close combat. You don't put any guns, like maybe like a couple. No, you go 60% guns, 40% combat. Why? Because what if you encounter a fucking screen? So the fucking Plagueman unit can fucking jump out of the whatever transport they're in, or they can come out the ruin that they've been staging behind, and they've got the fucking guns to clear it away, and the fucking Death Guard at the end of the day. So they're gonna fuck shit up in combat. Okay, like, it's not hard. You just have to fucking prepare the ground. You got to work the fucking ground. Okay, and this is why good players. This is why you have a lot of good players who are saying like, Guard are really strong. Guard are strong. Like, they might be one of the best factions, but there's a lot of good players that are facing Aquillions day in, day out, and are fucking beating them. There's a lot of combat armies out there which are facing Aquillions day in, day out, and are fucking beating them. Because they're 10 fucking guardsmen. Even if you pop smoke, at that point, you've burnt 2 precious CP. Even if you have the 2 CP, you've burnt 2 precious CP. And if you're using smoke on your Aquillions, then that means you might not be using smoke elsewhere. It means you might not have enough CP for reinforcements, which is still, I mean, look, it's just, they're strong, guys. They're strong. But if you are, you have to have your combined arms tactics. And you don't fucking need, right, to be like, oh, well, I'm a Wardians player. Oh, I don't have any guns. You do have guns. You just refuse to fucking use them. You just, for some reason, okay? You do have guns. You do. Alright, I have played World Eaters list. The World Eaters list that has fucked me hardest in all of 10th edition was one that was 75% combat and 25% fire support. Because I tried to fucking screen it out and they just went, screens, 20 guardsmen, right, that's fucking gone. And then they went in. Okay? Like, you've just got to have your fucking combined arms. And it's why so many people, when they play guard and then they go over to the faction, they fucking naturally guardify the army that they're building. They naturally fucking guardify it because they know that fucking works. Okay? They know that fucking works. Like you do, anytime a guard player collects your faction, all they really do is basically collect guard again with a different skin. Because they've had to fucking learn to do that. Alright? So, there's a lot of things that are good about Aquillions. There's a lot of reasons why they may need to go up to 100 points, okay? I'm totally okay. I would have no issue with that. But if we see Aquillions go up to 110 or 120 points, then that is just a fucking joke. 100 points, that makes sense to me. 100 points, that makes sense to me. Yeah, but you know what you should do? You make them 100 points, and then you can take them in squads of 5. Because you know what? 5 Aquillions deep striking down in 3 inches away. Ironically, no one would have a problem with that. No one would have a single fucking problem with 5-man Aquillion squads at 50 points. Or 5-man Aquillion squads at 45 points. Because sure, that's doing secondary game, but 5 Aquillions you can just brush to one side without even thinking about it. You just charge around them. They just don't take up enough space. You just fucking charge around them. So the point is, Aquillions are very, very good, but everyone who's losing their shit over them and saying that they completely hard fuck assault armies, it's just not true, okay? People, it's a new meta. What worked before isn't going to work now. That's what you asked for. That's what you wanted. That's what GW has given you. You can't now start fucking shit in the bed, all right? There you are. Rant over. I know that people are going to now take it out of context, like, Mordians and Aquillions are broken. Aquillions should be 50 points each. Swear to God, like, you see some... I swear to God, I see some of these people on Facebook. I see some of these people on fucking Reddit, and I just think they must have been dropped on the head as a child. Like, it's the only explanation. People just fucking cherry pick shit, man. It's fucking bullshit. All right. All right. I've been saying this since the Nerf Aquillions talk started. Take away the regiment and Astra Militarum keywords and call them Inquisitor Stormtroopers with auto cry baby as keywords, and they won't get as much attention. Richard Baker, I love it, man. I mean, and it's true. It's true. It's so fucking true. Like, people never fucking learn. No one in this community fucking learns. And I right now, I am kneeling down at the little, like, altar, the little shrine that I have to Josh Roberts. Now, for those who don't know, Josh Roberts is the balance team, is the head of the balance team at Games Workshop. If you are like me and you appreciate that 10th edition is the most balanced edition of 40k, it's not perfect, but this is the first time in like 30-40 years of this game existing that we're even remotely close to it being a balanced game. Yeah, we've got some issues with like mono builds, but remotely close to this game being where every faction can at least get a win at a tournament kind of thing. Then, not like a tournament win, like a win at a tournament. Like if you run your army, you should, you know, it's rare that you go on, not rare that you go on 5, but not everyone's going on 5 all the time, or everyone else is going sort of 5-0, if that makes sense. It doesn't make sense at all, but you know what I mean, right? Josh Roberts is a sensible guy. He's a sensible guy. And I believe that the GW balance team has learnt their lessons. And I think that they're not going to do knee-jerk reactions. Because whenever they've done knee-jerk reactions, it's been shit. Let's just sum this up in one go, right? GW, knee-jerk reactions, nerfed at the beginning of 10th edition, Deathwatch. Because everyone on the internet said that Deathwatch were overpowered. I literally do not need to expand on that. That's how stupid the fucking groupthink is. That's how fucking stupid. People were doing all of these fucking videos and they were doing all of these Reddit posts being like, oh, and this one 10-man Deathwatch unit can do like 30 more wounds. It was 10 tactical Marines. Okay, there's a little bit more to it, but the defensive profile was 10 tactical Marines. I'm sorry, motherfucker, but if you can't kill 10 tactical Marines, which have only got a 24-inch range and can only do those mortal wounds in direct line of sight, then you are the fucking problem. You are the problem. I was saying, I was praying, I was like, I fucking hope people turn up with 30 fucking veterans with just bolters or whatever it was. I fucking hope they turn up with that. Please fucking turn up with that. Okay? That was their 2,000 point army, like 30 fucking Deathwatch veterans. And a couple of cats in each one. I was like, please fucking turn up with that. I dare you, motherfucker. I double dare you. And then GW went and nerfed it. And I was like, good. They nerfed it before 10th edition even came out. This is when they like released all the indexes for free. No one was even playing the edition yet. And they nerfed it. And now look, and then Deathwatch spent the rest of fucking 10th edition non-existing until GW got rid of them. We haven't had anything like that since. Not many. We've not had many instances like that since. I hope. I don't care if Aquillions get a nerf. I care if they get a nerf before people have actually had a chance to play against them and try and adapt their lists. A lot of this is the great irony of 40k, of competitive 40k. Everyone complains and complains and complains and complains and complains that they want change, and then GW introduces change, and then they go, well, this now the thing that I was using doesn't work anymore. And it's like, oh, so what you meant was you wanted everyone else to change, but you got to stay still? That's not how life works, unfortunately. Either we go back to fucking Like, we go back to fucking, like, 4th and 5th edition, where nothing ever got FAQ'd, or we're in fucking 10th edition, where everyone gets FAQ'd. Everyone gets changes, man. Yeah. Yeah. So, Richard Baker, you're absolutely fucking right, man. The fucking crybabies. I will say this until I'm blue in the face. Aquillions are very, very strong. I wouldn't be surprised if Aquillions get a nerf. They may even go up, 10 points. Ironically, I think the way you make them better is you make them 45, you make them 50 points for squads of 5. Ironically, I think that actually sorts it out, because people would rather take a small squad for fucking a small squad for doing secondaries. Okay, and then you have to have the big investment if you want to do the whole charge cooking thing. Okay, which can still be countered by people who just bring a modicum of fucking guns in their army. Yeah, a modicum of fucking guns. Like, literally, you have like 2 or 3 heavy flamer equivalents in your army. The Aquillion charge thing is not a problem. Not a problem. And if you can't fucking find that in your list, then I don't know what to fucking tell you at that point. Richard Baker, thank you, man.
Much later.
There was an FAQ that came out. Now, this FAQ was not it was sort of not an official GW1. But at the same time, it's absolutely an official GW1. Okay? So, the problem is that this FAQ was for the world. It's like I think it's the world championships. I think that might be the thing you have to get the golden ticket for, right? It's an event that is run by Games Workshop, full blown by Games Workshop. Okay, and so this FAQ you won't find it on the Warhammer community page, but it's for one of the biggest events in the world, run by GW. And you can expect pretty much every tournament organizer worth their salt to basically adopt it, because it's probably going to come out as a official FAQ, sooner rather than later. It might even, it's going to be affecting you. It's going to be affecting you. All right. What was this FAQ? Essentially, because a lot of people have been speculating about how to fix Aquillions. A lot of people saying they should be going up to 100, 110, 120. Some people said they should be even 130 points, put them on the same mark as Inceptors, the jumpy dudes, right? Well, the FAQ did not change any points. What the FAQ did is, in essence, remove the ability to do the 3-inch deep strike via the precision drop ability when you rapid ingress. So you can only do the 3-inch deep strike now in your movement phase. Now, obviously, rapid ingress is not your movement phase. It is the opponent's movement phase. So they still absolutely have the 3-inch deep strike. They just can't essentially charge cuckold people anymore. So why have they made this change? So they've made this change because there were some extremely level-headed people on the internet, specifically or especially on those bastions of common sense and rational thought, Reddit and Facebook, who declared that Aquillions single-handedly defeated any assault-based army. That you could not win a game as an assault army versus Aquillions. This is the likes, especially the likes of World Eaters, Chaos Demons, and to a certain extent Orcs as well. And there was a lot of chatter about how Aquillions were the best unit in the game right now, and that they were an absolutely insane unit, completely broken, and that they were going to single-handedly be responsible for the guard win rate going up to 60-70%. Now, this kind of chatter basically went on for a couple of weeks with anyone who tried to point out that Aquillions were very strong, but completely counterable. Because remember that the Aquillions deep strike in after you've moved. So if you, they rapid ingress after you've moved. So if you set your charge, they don't lengthen the charge to your original charge target. That's the first thing to mention. So if you're 6 inches away, the Aquillions don't suddenly make it so you're further away than from what you originally wanted to charge. And also bear in mind that if you are charge blocking someone, then you are probably out in the open, or at the very least targetable by the enemy. Outside of some very specific circumstances. And so if you had the ability to clear away screens, and the Aquillions couldn't really stop you because they were 10 toughness 3 bodies. Now, of course, the Aquillions do have the opportunity to pop smoke. So that could make them a 3-up save, -1 to hit, which is tough. But that doesn't really help you against weapons that hit automatically and ignore cover, aka flamers. And it doesn't really help you against things like the grenade stratagem. And bear in mind, you might say, yeah, but that's forcing your opponent to spend a CP. True, but you popping smoke with rapid ingress has made you pop 2 CP. So best case scenario, you both sort of throwing CP into this whole thing, right? Now, I have maintained that this stands for a long time, that you could counter Aquillions, and that if you could not deal with 10 guardsmen, then the problem was your list had no way of dealing with screens. Yeah, no way. And that 10 Aquillions were the least of your worries, because if it wasn't Aquillions that were going to screen you out, it was going to be something else that would screen you out. And that Aquillions didn't suddenly fuck over your army. Your army was fucked from before Aquillions turned up. Because if I wasn't spending 90 points on Aquillions to screen, I'd be spending those 90 points on something else to screen. So that's the big thing, right? And it's not like, God, we're struggling for screening units anyway. It's one of the golden rules. Screen, screen, bloody fucking screen, right? Now, some people will disagree with my position on that. It's totally okay. Some people in this chat will disagree with my position on that. That's totally okay. Like, I'm not fucking font of all knowledge, okay? That's just my opinion, man. So GW nerfed them in that way and said, okay, you can't do that anymore. You can't rapid ingress and cuckold people. In a weird sort of way, I'm totally okay with the nerf. Because they were going to get nerfed. They were going to get nerfed. Again, they were a very, very strong unit. And if I had to pick between them nerfing the 3... If I had to pick between them raising the points, removing the 3-inch deep strike, or cuckolding, or removing the rapid ingress thing, out of all of those, I'd rather the rapid ingress thing went. Because for me, that was always situational. And I don't include units for their situationalness. I include units in my army who are going to be good in every game. So Aquillions being able to cuckold people on the charge happened maybe once a tournament for you personally, unless you're just encountering assault army after assault army, which is unusual considering 10th edition is generally more of a shooty meta, especially on things like GW terrain, right? So you are once, maybe twice, going to encounter full-blown assault armies with no way of clearing out, no firepower that could clear screens. But you were 5 out of 5 games going to encounter things like behind enemy lines, deploy teleporter homers, engage in all fronts, and many other secondaries that require you to score points. Maybe even just secure no man's land. Just bang, just drop down 3 inches away, grab that objective. Do you see what I mean? They have nerfed the thing everyone was crying about, but truly, they've not nerfed the strongest thing about Aquillions. Strongest thing about Aquillions was being able to just basically get any secondary points on demand. That's my opinion. And that's not the opinion of someone who's not used them. That's the opinion of someone who has used them extensively in a competitive environment. I've already used them in a tournament, guys. And I've used them in several practice games outside of that tournament. Alright? I've already used them. And I can tell you right now, I'm going to take Aquillions. I'm going to take one squad of Aquillions in every single list because it's worth it to have that one unit that can always guarantee you those secondary points. And if they don't get you secondary points, let's say you just don't draw the card, it's still great to have a unit that can sneak primary away from your opponent. Oh, there's Tennessee an objective. You're towing onto from behind a ruin. Well, I'm going to deny you 5 primary points because I'm just going to go bang, 3 inches on the other side of it. Because objectives are 3 inches that way and 3 inches that way. So if you're on the tip that way, I'm 6 inches away from you. I can get on the objective with my whole squad. I think Aquillions are still really, really good, but they were always good. They're not good at combat situations. There's loads of other targets. You think of, oh, deep striking and grenade people, it's fine. Often you'll have other targets you want to grenade anyway. You think, oh, but they can shoot that grenade launch. It hits on fucking 4s, guys. They've got a bunch of las rifles, a fucking grenade launch that hits on 4s, and a fucking plasma gun. Like, it's really not. They don't do any damage. They do points. Scoring points. And so they were always better at scoring points. They were shite in pretty much in most combat situations. Not all, most. And so the fact that they've got rid of the RANT, the occasional situation where they could cuckold badly built assault armies, sorry. And they've kept the fact that they can score secondary points and deny opponent primary at leisure. I'd take that deal. You take that deal? I'd take that deal. Damn good deal. Of all the changes they could have made, this is the one that appeases the vocal crybabies the most and actually affects guard players the least. It's going to affect you. There's going to be a game or two that pops up in you, man, where you're like, man, wish I could deep strike 3 inches away and fuck over those corn berserkers. But there's also going to be, that's going to come up, 1 every 5 games. But every single game, you're going to be like, so glad my opponent can't screen out this 3-inch deep strike. Bang. I'll deploy Locust. 5 points, please. So that is my stance after having a few sleeps and processing it over the weekend. That's my stance on it. The Aquillion nerf, don't really care. Not in a horrible way, not in a flippant way, not in a, oh, look at me, I don't care about anything. Like, I don't really care because it doesn't really affect me. And Aquillions are still really cool, really good, and totally viable. There you go. So Aquillions, they still got 2 thumbs up. So don't be sad about the Aquillion nerf. It's fine. It's a nerf. It is a nerf. Not everything's perfect. If would it be best if we still had it? Fuck yeah, I'd love that. But if we're not going to have it, fine. At least we still get to score the secondary points we want. All right. All right. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing. Truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full time without the incredible and generous support of my members. So thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters. the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Alex Dengal, Bon Vert, Lord Pryor, Mark Panconi, RJ Scorpion, Swordfish Trombone, Try Again Bragg, John Stubbs, Nick Walsh, Diesel Fox, and August Barney. Seriously guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and of course, as always, see you guys next time.